I was tired of thinking about, like, just thinking about the podcast, the fighting podcast. You know, I wanted to make it real. So like you guys know, I made a decision, and I was like, time to start working on the logo, time to start getting, start lining things up. And this is the day that my first episode comes out. But because I know we have so much going on, I committed to doing 1 episode a month.
Right.
And now we've met some people that would be perfect for this, that could help grow this. But it would be hard to interview people and then put that interview in the can for like 4 months, 5 months. And then it comes out like, and the stuff that we're talking about may not even be relevant, some of the things. So, I'm starting to think of like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, what should I do? And
not what should you do? What do you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, well, what is the purpose? What is the goal of this thing, right?
Right.
So initially it was like, 1 podcast a month, but now we have some opportunities coming up. And if I was to continue with this 1 podcast a month, that could be letting the opportunity slip by because it's too slow. So now I'm kind of thinking like, well, what do I need to do? And maybe what it's going to be is I need to start doing 2 podcasts a month. And at least that will kind of give me a little bit more activity and more posts, which will give it more traction and hopefully grows a little more, grows this a little more. And then, but that's how things happen. The waffle cone or whatever, that came out of necessity. Some dude was selling ice cream and ran out of cups and saw a dude selling waffles. And he was like, let me get those so that I can keep selling ice cream.
Right. Yeah.
If he didn't do that, he would have just been sitting there with melted ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been thinking about since last night is just, got to take advantage of this opportunity that we have. And I'm super excited about it, and there's always that fear. You get that feeling. It's not that feeling of fear, but it's that commitment.
Yeah.
Because I know that if I have to do these things, I have to commit to these things, things may start being different. I'm pretty comfortable. What if things take off and I have the opportunity to make more money or whatever? Like, even still, like, this is the goal, but it's hard. I have a secure job.
Yes.
Like, that is always like a risk that you're taking. But this is life.
So you just lined it up perfect for me. I call one of my clients who's a friend of mine, Kelly. She's like, hey, I want to drop something by, for you. Are you going to be home? And I'm like, yeah. And she comes over and she brings me this painted picture of all the women. Like, we took a picture together.
Dude.
And then she had her mother-in-law create the painting with all of us in it. And it's one of my favorite pictures that was taken at the event. And I just melted. I'm just like,
dude, it was making me emotional when I saw it. Because I know how special that is. That is your first retreat.
And while I'm sitting here looking at the picture of the painting of all of us, I started to remember everything that I did to get me where I am today. Leaving my career after 8 years as being a paralegal.
Yeah.
To work Legal Shield as an entrepreneur. That shit was scary.
Yeah.
I had nobody to pay my mortgage. I had nobody to pay my car payment. And what is so crazy was that I wasn't even scared. I was excited.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. Like, I was very spontaneous, like when I was younger. And maybe it's because I wasn't married. I didn't have kids. So
that is,
I just had to fly. And if I didn't, right? Like, I was going to find my wings on the way down. And there was no one else that I was responsible for but me. So that's probably what made it that much easier. But too, what made it that much scarier is that I didn't have you in my life to help me pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
Right? So if I didn't have that payment, I could possibly lose my house because I didn't have anyone to help me. But that wasn't even a thought back then.
Yeah.
And then going from Legal Shield after a decade of being in that business and then creating Trust Inc. and then dissolving that business and then creating the coaching business. Like those were all leaps of faith that I had to take. But imagine, what if I allowed fear to stop me from taking those leaps of faith?
Yeah.
I can't imagine, because I love what I do. It's fulfilling. It's hard to put it into words, but my life would be totally different if I allowed fear to stop me.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful that I was not that. And I'm so grateful that I had you in my corner to support me and be like, yeah, babe, let's go. Like, let's go. You got this.
Yeah.
Because it also gave me that I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is scary. Because like I just said, I've been like, that was a thought that crossed my mind. And it's a good thought. It's a good thought to have to like contemplate, like, do I have to leave work because I don't have time, because I'm making more money doing my side thing than I make in my job, or because I'm making these connections and opportunities are coming up. Like I said, my job is secure. But I think not always. I can't say, but it's something that I need to be conscious of. But I think I do okay with it. That when I get these feelings, I lean into it.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
You know, it's like, this is scary. I don't want to sign up for this tournament. I don't even want to fucking do jiu-jitsu. Like, those guys look like they're fucking each other up. Yeah, it's one of those things you gotta. But if you really think about it, like I was just kind of running through this in my head. It's like, okay, things start taking off. I meet some people, we get some opportunities, the podcast grows, your coaching business grows, and it's like, maybe I need to start focusing on some of this other stuff, and this is going to be really fun to do or whatever, but it is scary to leave a secure income. But that doesn't mean that if things don't work out, why can't I just go back and get a job doing what I was doing? Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm not good at it. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing. It's not like all that just goes away. So maybe we struggle for a little while and then I get a job again. Like that could happen too. And that's not a big deal, but I tried. But a lot of times I think we feel like when we stop something, it's over forever. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't have to be. It may not be. And maybe it is. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not. And you can come back. It's not that, like, you're not going to die. Mm-hmm. Right? I think we always, like, that is the ultimate outcome. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to chase my fucking podcast dream. The shit's not going to work. We're going to die. We're going to starve. We're going to die.
I'm okay with dying. We're going to be fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like, we're always in that extreme.
Right. Yeah. Versus like what you said, just leaning into it, like lean into it. Most people don't want to feel uncomfortable.